Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to a tour at 10. My name is Joshua Campbell Torrance. I'm the executive director here at the Bennington Museum. One of the things that really struck out to me when my family and I moved to Bennington, of course, were the absolutely stunning and really beautiful covered bridges. Here at the Bennington Museum, we have a really well-known and appreciated local artist, James White, who painted a couple of these bridges. And actually, we've got a really interesting story to tell you about him and his life. And here to tell us that story is our collections manager, Callie Raspuzzi.
James White was from Bennington, and when he was a young man, he was working down in New York City as a clerk, and he had an accident and hurt his back. And he could no longer work. He was married at that point with 2 children, and so he moved back to Bennington to be with his family. And since he was unable to work, he took up painting as a hobby and became enormously successful for his time. He painted these 2 pictures here of 2 covered bridges in Vermont. And one of the wonderful things about White is that he ended up confined to a wheelchair, but his friends and family and all of Bennington really rallied around and supported him. They held charitable fairs and regular art shows of his work, and pretty much every home in Bennington had one of his paintings. He worked in watercolor, he also worked in oil sometimes. These 2 pictures are of the old red bridge that you're looking at now. The old red bridge stood on the road that used to run from the monument down to around where Price Chopper is today. The bridge is no longer there, the road is no longer there. Occasionally, if you're up at the monument, sometimes your GPS, or this used to happen, I don't know if it does anymore, but your GPS would sometimes tell you to take a road that didn't exist. But that's the bridge that used to be there.
And you can see the monument there in the back, is
yes,
that right?
Yes, you can. Yep.
Very cool.
And then the other bridge that we have here, this is the Henry Bridge, which is still in North Bennington. The Henry House you can see behind. And this is where the Yorkers tried to evict James Breckinridge during the conflict in between Vermont and New York. So this is, the title of this painting is actually the bridge where Sheriff Tennant tried to evict James Breckinridge. So James White was very cognizant of the history of Bennington when he was creating these paintings. He was, as I said, confined to a wheelchair for most of his life. We have a photograph of him in the collection of him painting in his wheelchair, which I think is really just a very interesting thing. He had a very good reputation. When he died in the 1920s, his obituary mentions him always being happy and jolly and taking children for rides in his wheelchair on a regular basis. His son, Wills White, later became a well-known Bennington photographer in the 1910s and 20s, and we have a lot of his photographs in the collection as well.
Thank you so much, Callie, for that really interesting story about James White. I love that story because it talks about the rich artistic heritage here in Bennington County. And yet it also talks about how in our world here in Bennington, in Vermont, we take care of each other. We look out for each other. And during this crazy time of pandemic, that's what we need a lot of, is all of us helping each other. Because by staying together, we are going to get through this, and we're going to look back on this and remember how we pulled together to get through this tough time. Here at the Bennington Museum, we know that history is happening now, and we ask you to stay safe, to stay strong, and to stay creative. We look forward to seeing you the next time at Tours at 10.